quarterbacks, 14 were picked in the 2023 draft. A record 11 were taken in the top 150. Never before had that many been taken in the first 150 picks. 9 alone on day 3. Pete raises a good question here. How much of this is the 49ers, no pun intended, struck gold with Brock Purdy last year? Do you have teams more willing to roll the dice on quarterbacks because you never know where that next Brock Purdy's going to come from?
I think that's a little bit of it. I think everybody's looking for that guy, right? I think that is one thing. Another thing, take teams like young quarterbacks that they feel like there's a little potential, and then they can mold them the way, they see fit around their system, and they're chosen specifically to fit their system. I also think this was a pretty healthy middle class and had a little bit of everything to offer as far as the quarterbacks are concerned. You had your quarterbacks that, played a traditional way. You got some other ones that are a little more athletic, and you can do some quarterback design run stuff there. So it was a big number. It was. But, it was a class that had been talked about a lot, even, leading up to the draft process, even during the season. Everybody kept telling me, hey, it's a pretty good quarterback class. It's pretty deep, Even the high-level top-end guys are damn good. So this is something that had it all. And then, you got some talented guys you could take some shots on in the mid-round, some proven guys where you go, wait, they played a lot of college football. They'll be a good backup for us. And, a few other that you just go, hey, let's take a shot and maybe we can, groom this guy into something. But it's the most important position in our sport. And, it showed this weekend.
Well, and it got started with 3 of the first 4 picks, all quarterbacks. And then there was a long wait until Friday night.
Excuse me.
I had heard, God bless you.
Thank you.
You are so good looking. That's an old Seinfeld bit. There had been, we reported this on Friday afternoon, because part of the fun on Friday is getting in touch with executives, coaches, general managers to just, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? You get some good insights that way. And somebody pointed out to me that 3 teams were trying desperately, and I don't mean desperate like here's the keys, take whatever you want, but eagerly to get back into round 1. The Titans, the Falcons, and the Raiders were all trying to get back in, and as it turns out, all 3 traded up in round 2. They didn't make an offer that was enough to get someone to see fit to take it on Thursday night, but the Titans trade up to the 2nd pick in round 2 after trying to get up to number 1 with the Steelers, who took Joey Porter Jr. there. The Titans get Will Levis with the 2nd pick in round 2. And, this is a guy who, and I wrote this on Friday, Chris. I talked to somebody about what happened to Will Levis. I was told this toe thing was bullcrap. The toe had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, right.
What happens is once he slipped out of the top 5, teams get insecure about their own evaluations. And teams start to get nervous.
Yeah.
He's sliding for a reason. What did I miss? What did we miss? We can't take him now. Whoa. We did our evaluation. We have a first-round grade on him, but we can't take him because others have passed on him. And it becomes an avalanche that way. And that's something for agents to keep in mind for the future, because you got to get your guys prepared for everything. And Will Levis clearly wasn't prepared to fall out of round 1. He clearly wasn't ready to sit there all night, or he wouldn't have been there. The video emerged on Friday from his pro day workout of him saying he's not going to go unless he knows he's going to be a high pick. So this is a dynamic that I don't think happens very often, but when it does, the kid ends up getting screwed. And teams started to second-guess their own evaluation of Will Levis. 20 to 25 teams had first-round grades on him. One general manager speculated to me. But once they start slipping, people get nervous about what they thought because they think they're missing something that others saw, so they back off.
Yeah, sure.
And it just continues. And just one after another continues. Well, the guy in front of me didn't take him, so why am I taking him? Well, the 2 in front of me didn't take him, why am I taking him? And so it goes. And again, the Titans tried to get back into round 1 to get him. They would have preferred, I assume, to have the 5-year contract with that 5th-year option instead of a 4-year deal, but they end up moving up to get him on Tuesday night. They have to be thrilled with it because
it's huge.
I think they and other teams are seriously thinking about taking him in the top 10 or top 12.
Well, he's got that type of talent. I mean, that's what he's got, right? and yeah, great for the Tennessee Titans. They got the quarterback of the future. Really a guy that's a lot like Ryan Tannehill, but probably has not as consistent, and that's one of the reasons he fell, but has more of a high-end potential to reach, right? There's some of that. I mean, again, Will Levis, his arm, it is real. He makes some throws, and you go, oh, my gosh, wow, look at that thing go through the air, and, the way it travels, spins, everything. Of course, he's a specimen athlete, as you see right here as you're watching on TV. All of that's there. I agree with you that I think, yes, that plays in part, that teams start to second guess once a guy falls. I think there is some of that. I think the other aspect, too, is that Will Levis, as talented as he was, just as we started this process and why he fell at one point and people thought he was going to end up being drafted in the 20s was because I think coaches and, again, there was a lot of people out there, guys like me, we love the talent, but there was it's all over the place at the position. And I think, too, once those first three guys were gone, which I think were loved by the majority of the football teams, Levis was the guy like, hey, we like him, but do we really want to go that route? There was a lot of talk about him and the inconsistencies of the play on the field and the guy off the field and all of that. That all went to Levis. And I think a little bit he just got stuck in no man's land as far as the Texans were thinking about taking him. They were one of the teams that really liked him. I think the Colts were the other team that really liked him. And I think a lot of the other teams were kind of like, we like him, but we're not sure we want him to be our quarterback. So I think between what you said, what I'm saying right there, it kind of all met in the perfect place and, ended up making him fall to pick 33.
I think the Colts seriously considered him.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I believe what happened with the Colts, they did what I wrote about on Wednesday, and it goes back to when you unveiled your quarterback rankings and you used the superstar word with one guy and one guy only, Anthony Richardson. I think the Colts made the decision they'd rather guess wrong about him being a superstar and take him and have it not pan out than guess wrong about not taking him and have him become a superstar for some other team. They didn't want that to happen.
Yeah, sure.
So they're willing to roll the dice. They're willing to reach for the stars. I mean, this was a year where every top quarterback prospect has a question mark. There's no sure thing. There's no this guy walks right in and becomes a star. There's a sense already that Caleb Williams is that guy next year from USC, assuming he enters the draft. He's already the overwhelming favorite to be the number one overall pick. There's no one like that this year, so let's go get the guy who could be developed into a superstar because he has a skill set already that is off the charts that we've never seen before. And if all else fails, he's even better than Taysom Hill. I think we talked about that on Thursday before the draft, the idea that this is the guy, and he went to the Colts, but Jim Irsay came out and said it. Now, look, I don't know how much of it's bluster, but he tweeted on Friday afternoon, hey, what if we draft Will Levis and we have Joe Montana and Steve Young? And then he said after the fact, if Richardson was gone, they might have taken Levis, and they would have taken Richardson first overall. But if somebody had jumped them, if that trade up to number 3 had been to take Anthony Richardson, it's quite possible Will Levis would have gone fourth. And Chris, for him, it's like a $24 million difference in initial contract. Right. It's a shame. It's a shame it happened to him, but he could have gone as high as number 4.
Well, I mean, I'm not shocked by that. Chris Ballard, I think he's a guy that in the scouting community the people would call he's a traits guy. He likes guys with big-time traits, and he thinks, okay, now coaches develop them to show those traits on a consistent basis so he can, deliver for our football team. So that's where Anthony Richardson and Will Levis, they have some traits where you go, oh, wow, that's special. Their body type, their athletic ability, their arm strength, where you go, that's, a little bit of a different level right there. So I understand that, and I think that's, the Colts – I believe them and take them at their word there. Both of these guys, Richardson and Levis, are a little bit reach for the stars type of pick there. They really are. But I think ultimately, too, where Richardson goes 4, and again, I'm just passing along messages that I've been told by a number of people. Everybody loved Richardson the person. Anybody I talked to in the process, man, Anthony Richardson, people loved him. They were blown away by his football IQ. I think a lot of people thought, wait, this is a guy that's only played 11 or 12 games in his college career. He's young. How much does he really know? I think people were very impressed with that. So it was a double whammy there where, it seemed like, again, going through people I talked to, Levis and Stroud were the two that, not that anybody didn't like them, but they were towards the bottom of the totem pole on who was liked the most in this process, right? Anybody I talked to, man, it was Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson were awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. They're great to be around. The other two, hey, we like them, but, the other two were cooler. And I think some of that played into where Will Levis, ended up falling down the draft here as well.
Well, the Titans had to be thrilled to get him
Man.
Where they got him. They traded up 8 spots in round 2. They moved down 9 spots in round 3 and gave up a third-rounder next year to make it happen. Here's Rand Carthon, the first-year Titans GM, making the call to Will Levis on Friday night, and also Levis on the back end, why he left Kansas City after only one night of the draft.
Listen, I'm going to share something with you. I saw your face last night, and I know that means something. I know you're driven.
It was crazy. We had a big family gathering planned tomorrow morning. Obviously, was thinking there was a good shot that I would go yesterday. So the only reason I didn't stay is because I couldn't get back home in time if I were to have left tomorrow. So ended up coming back today. The flight was supposed to be at 9. It ended up taking off until about 12. Traffic on the way home from Newark. I live in Connecticut. I literally walked through the door as my name got called. It was so funny. We're all in our airport clothes and very different atmosphere compared to everyone getting dressed up with the nice suits and dresses last night. But I mean, this is what was meant to be, and I was ecstatic to get the call.
I hope the Titans are able to rescue him from whatever alien spacecraft he's been abducted by. What the hell was that?
He's upstairs.
What was that?
He looks like he's upstairs, in a guest bedroom or the third floor, room that's been made into a guest bedroom to get away from the draft party or something there.
And look, I'm not giving the kid a hard time. But welcome to the NFL, where everything you say can and will be dissected and used against you if we think it's not completely the truth. I'm not buying this idea that he took off because they had a gathering. They can postpone the gathering. We can wait a day. He got the hell out of there because he was pissed off he wasn't drafted. And I'm not saying I blame him. He wasn't prepared for it. This all gets back to what the agents tell the guys. What is the floor? You better know as the agent what the floor is, and the guy better know before he subjects himself to that embarrassment of being the one who's sitting there. And there's so many photos and video clips of Will Levis pissed off because he was falling. And, we now know the truth. He could have been a top 5 pick. I don't know if that makes it any better for him. He wasn't ready for what transpired, and it was a shame that it happened. And, somebody was asking me on Friday, of the 17 guys at the draft on Thursday night, 4 of them didn't get picked. It's not exactly a great batting average by the
not
NFL.
At all. It tells you how crazy the first round was, and they had no feel this year.
Well, and here's the other side of it too, Chris. Who's going to tell the NFL the truth about whether or not they're going to take somebody with a first-round pick? The league office. I'm not talking about the NFL.
No, I hear you.
One of those examples
I hear
of a situation where, why do you hate the NFL? I love the NFL. But if I'm a team, I ain't trusting the league office. I don't know who's friends with who.
Well,
look at the emails from Bruce Allen to Jeff Pash that came out a year or so ago. I don't know who's got a bias for some team, who worked for some team, who's working some scam, who's up to their own interest, not the league's interest, who may tell somebody else, hey, be careful here. The Colts really like this guy. So, no, I'm not giving anybody straight and clear and unvarnished honest
maybe that's why Vegas didn't have a good feel
game
for the draft this year. They didn't get the inside word there. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why it was all over the place. But I think it was a little all over the place, and I hear you with your point, Mike. I do. Sorry, I just jumped in there.
No, it's fine. But that's 3 other guys ended up not getting picked on Thursday night who were there. Brian Branch was the only one who went back. Everybody else left, and I don't fault the guys who left for leaving because you assume when you get the invitation you're going to be a first-round pick. Your agent really needs to be in a position to give you good information about what your floor really is. Some agents have access to that information and some just don't. Joey Porter Jr. told me last week his window was 7 to 17, maybe 7 to 20, and he ended up not getting picked at all. So I don't blame any of the guys who didn't come back. And I mean, for Will Levis, and look, I know he's going through a tough emotional time, but I mean, I'd have had no problem with him saying I didn't go back because I didn't get picked and I didn't want to sit there again. I didn't know how long it was going to last. I got no problem with that. You know, you're free falling. You don't know how far that free fall is going to last. And for him, the good news was he was the first guy who had been in the room the night before who heard his name called the prior night. So,
well, it could have been both, Mike. I mean, it could have been both. He could have wanted to get back. He could have, like you said, too. Yeah, he doesn't know how long he's going to wait there the next day. He thought he was going in the first round. You know, it didn't shake out that way. He could be, you know, he could be telling the truth there that he had a family gathering.
At that age,
you know.
At that age, I mean, I'm sure he did have a family gathering.
Right.
We could always postpone it. But at that age, my attitude would have been, screw everybody, I'm getting out of here. I'm gone. I'm done.
We got to give him credit.
I'm out.
But that's the other thing, too. He handled it with class. He really did. You know, for as much as he was shown on the camera and, you know, people tried to make memes and everything else about him and his girlfriend and, you know, everything that he sat there through. You know, he did a really good job handling a very, very tough situation and didn't even seem bitter, you know, the next day, which I give him credit for. So, you know, good for Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans, and it looks like it's got the potential to be a match made in heaven there.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.